Hello there people, my name is Amanamaz and I just finished watching the final season of Peaky Blinders. There's not much I can say really other than the show is great from start to finish, and not many shows can say the same. Everything from the plot, the acting and the character development and even the setting. It made Birmingham look interesting when really Birmingham is a shithole and I've lived there for 4 years. Oh, I will be going into spoilers throughout the series by the way, so check out another video if you don't want to get spoiled. Tommy Shelby, played by Cillian Murphy, is probably one of the best characters I have ever seen on TV. Seeing his rise to the top of a business empire on multiple fronts, from drug smuggling to match fixing, it's just fascinating and gripping to watch. Yes, his haircut isn't the best, but there are so many layers to him and they constantly weave with one another. From being a soldier to gangster and working his way up to being a huge businessman, and even being a politician working with Winston Churchill. And the emotional range of the characters probably even better. You see him when he's at his most vulnerable to when he's the most ruthless. And he's not one note either, being quite the family orientated man while constantly planning and scheming his next move, which does add a lot of tension between his wife Lizzie and their kids. The guy is always 10 steps ahead and it's just an experience to watch. The guy is a proper slut though, he really needs to learn how to pull out. He's got 3 different baby mamas by the end of the show. Anyway, his chemistry with every character is fantastic, particularly with his brother Arthur and Aunt Polly. Aunt Polly, played by Helen McCrory. Sorry if I butchered that name. R.I.P. in peace, by the way. Another fantastic character. She's almost like a mentor figure to Tommy and a guiding hand to the family. She was caring and kind, but cutthroat, and knew what needed to be done. And even though the actress passed away before the final season started production, you could still feel her presence and influence on the other characters. Arthur, despite not being head of operations and being the oldest, you could feel the weight he has and how he feels sometimes that he isn't taking more on in the family because he knows he isn't the smart one and is in his brother's shadow sometimes, even though he's basically Tommy's right-hand man and doesn't think anything less of him. And seeing his spiral with alcohol and addiction, with the loss of Polly and his wife leaving him, is rough to see, but in a good way. So you feel happy for him when he is clean and his arc wraps up nicely. All the other supporting characters are great too. I won't go into too much detail, but Tom Hardy as Alfie Solomons is so much fun to watch, and his back and forth with Tommy are probably my favourite moments of the show. Ida, the sister of the Shelby family, is like the heart and soul, and it's a nice dynamic to have someone morally conflict with Tommy at times. Michael Gray was another good addition to the show, as someone who wants to be part of the business, even when Polly, his mum, doesn't want him to, and later on almost becoming too big for his boots and being an antagonist for Tommy. I genuinely think there isn't a character I didn't like for the wrong reasons. Like even the air quotes villains are written so well that you can't help but hate them. Though the final season does have fascists, so you kind of have to hate them anyway. Despite the show being over, they leave enough open to finish everything off with a movie. Yes, they are doing a movie to end the show. To be honest, I don't know how I feel about that, because I think a season 7 would have been a better format and really flesh out the final moments. But I trust the writers to continue doing a fantastic job, because I really want to see how Tommy continues life after finding out he doesn't have a terminal illness, and how that plays into him infiltrating the fascist party. As we all know, it will end with the start of World War II. And then Finn being banished from the Peaky Blinders by Duke, Tommy's illegitimate son, and how Duke fits into the business having only just joined, and with Tommy having plans with him already. And I really want to see how the American deals with Tommy staying alive, because they're part of the fascists and wanted him dead. I know I haven't gone into too much detail regarding each season, but it doesn't feel like separate seasons. It's really like one long story with time skips in between. You could binge the show and not notice when a season ends and begins. I really recommend that you watch this show if you haven't already. It's so good, and I can't sing the show's praises enough. I think it's a 10 out of 10 show. I don't think I can add much to it really. Let me know what you thought. If you like my review, please like and subscribe, and I shall see you next time, and peace.